So thank you so much for joining tonight. So the reason I'm passionate about this is it affected me, and it's your time to thrive, not just survive. Now, we've got this crazy world right now where we can all get sucked into phones, digital, everybody wanting access to us 24/7. Are you one of these people? So I'm going to do a 45-minute reset for women ready to raise their standards. Stop negotiating with yourself. Now, what I'm calling it is the next chapter. And the reason I'm calling it the next chapter is your time. You decide. My group on Facebook is called It's All About You. And it's entirely up to you what you actually do with it. So you might think, well, actually, it's not the right time for me. I was actually on a Zoom there, and I said, I started with Kathy Heller on the 1st of January. Now, I do a reset every single year, and before this year, I actually did Gabby Bernstein. This year, I decided to do Kathy Heller, and I've now moved into her group, and it has been absolutely amazing. One of the things that we shared there was slow mornings. And I'm going to go, as I go on, I'm going to tell you what slow mornings actually means for me. But the thing that I want you to think about is don't compare yourself to me saying slow mornings, because the lady who was on the call with me today is actually a mum, and she can't have a slow morning. Obviously, she's got to get her kid to school. So for me, it would have been the same. So don't compare yourself. If you're new to me, my name's Audrey Patterson. I'm a mum, I'm a business owner, women in their 60s, and I've lived through menopause, health challenges, and that quiet feeling of losing myself. Not once, not twice, probably 4 times. I'm not here because I've got it all perfect. I'm here because I've walked this road too. And I want to try and help anybody that's at that part. What am I passionate about? Helping women over 45 stop blaming themselves, understand what's really happening in midlife, and find a gentler, more supported way to thrive. Tonight's not about goals. In January, we're all going to get that, set a goal. And by the 17th of January, it's been proven to show that we are actually finished with that goal, whatever it was, because we've set our expectations too high. It's about where you've been settling, what you've been tolerating, who you're ready to become. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly what you're committing to for the next 30 days. Some people say that a habit takes 21 days. I actually think it's longer than that. Everybody's different. So I have said I'm going to do this for 30 days. And the thing is, when I do this, it helps me, not just you, it actually helps me too. So welcome to Thrive Over 45. So this was me that designed this, and it was because if I go back to, I buried my mum the day before my 40th birthday. I had a 3.5-year-old, went full-blown menopause at 45, had an underactive thyroid, and I totally lost myself through grief. A mum that didn't know, what to do because I didn't have any childcare. I was a young mum with a young child, but I was menopausal. So I help women over 45 who spent years caring for everyone else find their way back to themselves by sharing what I've learned through life, work, personal growth. I support women in building confidence, protecting their energy, and creating lives with more choice, freedom and joy without pressure, perfection or pretending. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what you're committing to for the next 30 days. So can I ask you to close your eyes for 2 minutes? Where in your life do you feel slightly dissatisfied? Now, is it money? Is it energy? Is it time? Is it your relationship? Is it the house that you're in? Is it that you've got weight on? Is it that your hormones are playing up? Just close your eyes and think of one. Not all of them, just think of the first one that comes to your head, because that's the thing that we're actually going to work on. So close your eyes and have a think about it. I'm going to time you for 2 minutes. Okay, so the one that is foremost in your head, that's the one that we're going to work on. We're not going to work on everything together because you'll just get overwhelmed. It will drain you. You won't stick to the 30 days. Let's do it in order. Let's get your ducks in a row. So think about that one thing and let's go from there. So the truth about tolerance, what you tolerate trains your nervous system. If it says, it becomes normal. If it repeats, it becomes identity. So some of the things I'm going to talk about that were limiting me for a long, long time was my mum used to say to me, you were born to be a lady, you weren't required, don't go above your station. All of these things go inside my head. And sometimes when I think, I'm not aligned with this, and I actually try and do something, I think, oh, I hear my mum on my shoulder saying something. Do you ever have anything like that? But also on the other shoulder, get power, because I'm in a male-dominated industry. And I remember saying to my boss, can you tell me my career path? He said, career path? I thought you were here past your time to get married and had a baby. Well, the strange thing is, that's what drives me all the time. So what I'm always looking for is I'm wanting the dominant shoulder to actually back my mum down. And the reason for that is my mum died 23 years ago. Now, I hope by now my mum would see what I actually do. And, you know, maybe when you were younger, she would have thought you had attitude and all of these things. And I'm seeing it a lot in schools at the moment. But had she known me now, hopefully she'll realise what my actual whole self is like, and that's helping people. So that's become my identity. But we're not fixing your whole life tonight. We're noticing what you've been accepting. So what have you been accepting? For me, it was non-negotiable that I took emotional vampires out of my life. I was no longer taking them. They were draining my energy. And I took a whole circle of people out of my life because I thought you don't actually fit with how I want my life to move forward. Is there anybody in your life that's draining you just now and you think, actually, you don't sit with me now? And we can outgrow people. And I can see this in some of my friends' relationships just now, where people, you just outgrow people and you think, no, they're just not aligned with how I was. And then you've got other friends that you've had for 50 years and you would maybe tolerate more from them. So have a think about that. Who can you look at and think, are they draining my energy? Should I actually move them? So let's think about a circle of friends. Okay, you've got the core friends, then you've got ones that you would maybe talk to every twice a month, and then you've got people who just show up. You haven't seen them for years, and they would be your best friend. Where do they all sit? Make sure you review that and say, are they all in the right position? So the hard question: what am I pretending doesn't bother me anymore? Now let's just sit and think about this for a couple of minutes. So I will say I don't, and I don't think about my mum actually saying that, but there's be something that will just trigger me, that will make me go, oh, I'm not sure. And I kind of just go a wee bit unsure. And this is one of the things that Cathy Heller actually has really got. Hers is, if you're not following somebody in a podcast, you're looking for something positive to listen to, have a look at it. It's called Everything is Energy. And everything is energy. If you have got a low vibration, then you're going to get all the negative that's going around and it's all going to just land on you and you're just going to feel down and go down and further down and further down and further down. Whereas if you can lift your vibration, that can't change. If you stay up there, it can't change. So the first thing I talk about is miracle morning. And I've done the miracle morning, but what I decided to do was slow mornings. So let's raise the standard. Goals live in the mind, standard live in the body. If I raised my standard by 10%, just 10%, what would change? In my mornings, in my food, in my boundaries, in my self-talk, and my follow-through. Now this is really strange actually, because probably about the fourth day I heard Cathy talking about slow mornings and I thought that's what I need to do. And I actually put it in a group that I'm in and said, slow mornings. I'm going to do slow mornings. And what that meant was 3 mornings a week, I go to Levenwell to the health club and I walk in the pool, I sit in the jacuzzi for 2 rounds, I go into the sauna for 2 rounds, I then do my emails at the side of the pool and then I get to work. Now it's non-negotiable, but the thing is, Had I stayed in the house, then you get everything else, tidy the kitchen, put the laundry on, do. So what I basically said was, no, I'm raising my standards by 10%. And if you want a better 10% from me, what I'm going to have to do is change my morning. I'm going to go over there. Now, my food, I get myself organised. I take my coffee, I take my water, and I take a protein shake with me. My boundaries are that my phone goes off at 9 o'clock, and I'm actually thinking of changing this as well. I'm just about to read a book which I'm going to post about. My boundaries are 9 till 9. Now, I've got favourites on, and the favourites can get through to me because they're emergencies, because we no longer have a house phone. But my self talk would have been, somebody will be trying to get me, I better get to that phone. So, what's my follow through? My phone is now on Do Not Disturb between 9 and 9. I can't get to it, I can't go on it, and it's forced to close. Now, you can get a thing that's called a brick, and the brick actually closes your phone that you can't get on. See if you think that you need that. And I actually think we really need to pay attention to our kids, because our kids are actually getting addicted to these phones. And these phones are actually addictive. They're designed to actually make kids want more. And if that is maybe what's causing the issues in the school, everybody's having a real problem with kids in school. Is that what's causing it? So maybe it's time that we actually reviewed some of this. So the book recommendation that I've just been given is called, it's about switching your phone off, how it interferes with the head. Now, that for me is really worrying, because if that's what the kids are thinking, where is it all going to go? So the one that I've just ordered is called The Amazing Generation, and it's by Jonathan Haidt and Catherine Price. Now, it's basically talking about anxious and helping kids break free from phones. I watch my son. He used to actually say to me, Mum, put your phone off. I watch him now sitting, waiting for a phone and waiting to see what comes through on a phone. Are you addicted to your phone? Because if you are, it's the same thing as being addicted to gambling, to all of the things that you can become addicted to. Have a think about it, and what could you do to change that? If you look on your phone and look at how long have you been on, how long have you scrolled, what time have you lost, maybe it's time to change that. So choose one standard. My new standard is, and take it, examples that you can list a few. My body is not an afterthought, and that is mine. So this is why I'm going to Living Well, and I'm walking in the pool. I follow through for myself, because I'm now 63 and I want to be fit and healthy when I am 90, let's say. I go to bed proud because I tick off that I've actually done these things. I don't abandon myself to keep the peace. Peace is productive. And just circle one. What one could you circle there? Out of the last lot, which one are you going to work on? So let's look at this. This could be your 30-day action plan. And it's got to be small, repeatable and daily. What tiny action could you commit to for 30 days? So that's mine. Where possible, I'm going to be in Living Well 3 times a week. Where possible, I'm going to be there from before 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes I've got a meeting, I might have to leave early, but I will be in the pool for 8 o'clock. And if there's something that comes up in between, I will go at night because I'm going to take my time. A 10-minute walk, I'm doing it in the pool, but if it's a nice day, I will obviously get out and get walking. Protein. My whole thing at the moment is protein. And the reason for that is I have an underactive thyroid, and I know I recently lost 30 pounds. I know that I need to lose weight and I need to keep the protein, or I'm going to have that sort of shrinkled skin and I'm going to look like 90 before I'm even 65. So protein is mine. I use a thing called Team RH actually, and I really like it because I can track everything. It can tell me where I am instead of flying the plane and you don't actually know where you are. With protein first, I know I use UFit shakes or For Goodness shakes, and I get the 50-gram one. Now that means they're expensive, but protein itself is actually expensive. I think it's about £2.75 for the protein shake, but I know I'm then getting a better I'm getting protein. Where possible, I would eat a chicken. But if I can't get the chicken, then I would do that protein. I do not use my phone for the first 15 minutes now. And I also put in, if anybody's looking for me, they won't get me till 9 o'clock. And I've been sticking to that. So what boundary can you change this week? Now, think about this, and can you journal 1 page every single day? Just think about the good things that's happened in your day. Don't think about the bad. If there's something that's bad that's happened, turn it into positive and just think, well, actually, tomorrow's going to be better. Don't focus on it, because when you focus on it, that's really where everything is going to change. So review your finances. Now you might think, well, I'm not in control of my finances. I just bury my head. Don't bury your head. If you want to send me a message, I will send you an expenditure analysis. So what it does is it goes through your expenditure and your income, and it lets you see where you're actually maybe losing. For instance, I did a wee review for my son and I said, Starbucks, Costa, Greggs, Starbucks. Can you see where he's actually losing the money? So what we did was I bought my a litre and a half water bottle, because it was always water that he was buying. When he's out and about, we got a virgin water filter. So in here, he doesn't spend money in water, but he's got into habit of only drinking water, and when he opens a bottle and doesn't finish it, he takes a new one. So it's cost him a fortune. So what could you change? So say consistency beats intensity. Let's just say we could be consistent, and that will be intensity. So identify shift. You don't need a new plan. You need a new self-agreement. The version of me I'm becoming is a woman who, what does she do daily that I'm not allowing myself or not doing consistently yet? So for me, it was definitely not listening to what I say by saying to people, put your own oxygen mask on. I was telling people to do it, but not actually doing it. I would even get to the gym, but maybe not every day, whereas now it's non-negotiable. My bag is packed, I'm ready to go. I do my stretching, I've got resistance bands and I do them again, I don't want that sort of loose skin, so I do my stretching before I get out of bed. I take my protein. I try where possible to drink 2.5 to 3 litres of water. I meditate all night. I use a Bluetooth headband that goes through my head, and if anybody wants me to email this Audible book to you, I can. This will play through your head, and it's 13 hours. It's really strange actually, because sometimes I wake up and I say, oh my goodness, that's what they said, because you aren't aware, but it goes into your subconscious. So what can you do daily that you're not doing consistently yet? So your future anchor. By the end of the next 30 days, I will be proud that if nothing changes, how will I feel in 3 months? So let's say you do. Now, one of the things that I keep things on is an app. It's called Google Keep. And I love Google Keep. I will put these on. I'll put 10-minute walk, protein first, no phone first, boundary per week, journal 1 page, review finances calmly. And you can tick them, and then you can just move it to the next day. Now, say for instance you miss one, where you would do a to-do list. Sometimes we get ourselves all wrapped up because we think we've failed because we haven't done the to-do list. All you're actually going to do is move it to the next day. It's not the end of the world. If you can be 80% good, like I said, like last Wednesday, I had to go and do a filming for Dobie's Garden Centre, so therefore I was away Thursday morning. And I had Thursday morning, so I couldn't actually do this, but I went Thursday night. So the invitation, keep it simple. You don't need motivation. You need structure and support. The 30-day transformation is inside the 30 days. We will have daily accountability. We'll have simple structure. We'll have a community support. We'll have a habit building. We'll have real momentum. No extremes, no starting over. So let's say for 30 days, we rebuild self-trust. How would you feel at the end of the 30 days? Now, bear in mind, most people start things. But like I said, in January, by the 17th, they'd actually stopped. Don't overwhelm yourself. What can you do and consistently do it? It might be that you think, well, I couldn't get to Living Well 3 times a week. Just do your resistance band. Drink 3 litres of water. Walk up and down the stairs 10 times. But start something and you'll feel better. So who's this for? It's for the woman who is tired of starting over. It's done with all or nothing, knows she's capable of more, doesn't want to do it alone anymore. Community is absolutely everything for me. If you do it with other people, everybody is rooting for you. Commitment. Let's just sit for a minute and put your hand on your heart if that feels comfortable for you. For the next 30 days, I stop negotiating with myself. If you're ready for support, I'd love to guide you. If you're ready, we're starting 1st of March 2026. It will take no longer than 15 to 30 minutes per day. How much time do you scroll on your phone? How much time do you lose by faffing about doing all different things? Could you commit to 15 to 30 minutes for 30 days that would help you feel, look, and maybe move to the next chapter of your life, whatever your next chapter is going to be? It could be, okay, I'm ready to really seriously take this to the next level in terms of my health. It could be that you think, I'm really serious about getting out of my job because I absolutely hate it. It could be that you want to actually get a grip on your money and think, I really need to save it seriously. I'm going to be doing a lot of different things on it as well. So the expenditure thing is the first thing. And with that, what we're then going to do is look at it and say, okay, you've got spare. You've just been losing it. And if you change that head from where you've been from scarcity to actually I've got money in the bank, everything feels different. So you're not behind, you're not broken, you're definitely not too late. So many women hit this chapter and think something's going wrong when actually something is waking up. If this spoke to you, you're not alone. Save it, share it, or just lend it and let it land. You can change your life. First, you have to change your thinking. So here's to an amazing 2026, and let this sit. We are almost at the end of February, and I remember last year saying, wait, Christmas before we know it. My friends all laughed at me, but we were at Christmas before we knew it. So who's ready for the next chapter? Take my hand, come with me, and let's do it together. So have a fantastic night. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to play a meditation by Cathy Heller, actually, because I think you may relate to this. So just let me get to this and I will share it. Easier said than done. Maybe not actually. What I'll do is I will, no, it's not allowing me to actually hold bus. All right, okay, here we go. Share. No, it's not letting me do it. Hide meeting, wait till we see. No. And actually, I was going to do it on my phone because I did it last time on my phone. Hold on. I can do it here. Last time I did it on my phone, and in actual fact, I wasn't really happy with the way that it actually worked. So that is why I want to play it on here. So here we go. This is Cathy Heller's. You can hopefully, yeah, you're seeing my screen here. So this is all the modules that I'm going through just now. So you can imagine why I'm absolutely buzzing just now. But what I want to do is let you hear something here. And what I'm going to do is share more of this. So there's the Capricorn Masterclass. Now this is every single day, the bonus workshop. And there's a podcast. What I would say to you is encourage you to look her up. Plug into this every day. And I'm sure that this will really help you as well. So there we go. This is her voice because I'm very much
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm still in LA, so it's morning for me. But next week, I'll be in Florida. So then it will be noon. See how time is just made up? It's all interesting. You know, I was reading that, maybe I've shared this before. This is like super quantum. We experience time linearly, right? Like past, present, future, but it's actually not linear. It's not linear. Time is not linear. It's actually elastic. So when you, and we're going to dive into this today, but we'll do our morning practice first. But when you are manifesting, part of the reason that you're manifesting whatever it is that is coming into your awareness is because you've already been to the future. Time is not linear, right? I want you to really think about that. We've talked about this before, but let's review. A day on Earth is how many hours? This isn't a trick question, you guys know. How long is a day? Right. And so it's 24 hours. What makes it 24 hours? What makes a day 24 hours? A day is 24 hours because of the relationship between the circulation of the sun and the earth. It takes 24 hours. So what happens when you go, let's say, off of the earth and you move to Jupiter? How long is a day? Is it 24 hours on Jupiter? If you were to take a rocket ship there, how long is a day? It's 9 hours and like 58 minutes, I think. So now let's say you moved positions again, as if, let's say you could travel. And, the way I traveled from Florida to LA, let's say you could travel to Jupiter. Okay, so your day would be 9 hours and 58 minutes. Now, what would happen if you were to travel just outside this solar system? Just outside our solar system. If you go one dot past our solar system, how long does an hour take to pass? Does anyone know? Anyone have a guess? Take a guess. It's amazing how.
So I'm going to leave you hanging and I'm going to play. This is the.
All right, so if you have done your morning practice today, we're going to spend another few minutes doing it again, because why not? And also, maybe you haven't done it, or maybe you didn't do it as deeply as you wanted to. We used to send just this 1 minute meditation, which we're still doing, but now every Monday, Charlotte is leading a morning practice, and then on my Tuesday calls, I'm doing it. And then every day, you'll be sent a replay of a morning practice, just because you could do it without it, but now you'll have it in case you want to use it as a guide. And so we want you to keep up with that for no other reason than you're really cool to spend time with. And I want you to spend some time with you and really get to the essence of it. And we're going to do a class today on manifestation. And I think you'll see all the more reason, not only why to use the morning practice, but how to use it. And so we'll talk about what kind of state of being that if you could spend a few minutes plugged into that in the morning, it changes your whole life and puts you right back in that wizardry where you can start to move things from here into your actual reality. So we'll work on that today. So we're going to begin. We're going to do like a quick morning practice for anyone who didn't get to do it today. So the first thing we're going to do is close our eyes. As soon as we close our eyes, we're going to take a deep breath. And just to feel our breath, just put your hand on your belly and your hand on your chest, and now breathe and see if you can feel the fullness of your breath. And I'm just going to remind you that in this moment, you can be here in this moment. So just arrive here. Just come into this moment fully. There is nowhere else right now that you need to be other than present right here. And there's no one else you need to take care of right now except for you showing up for yourself in this moment. So remember to remember that. Now, first thing that we are going to think about, you're going to remind yourself, I am someone. I am some of the one. And when we do that, what we're really doing is remembering that we're not a body because we're someone. And we are a masterpiece, a piece of the master. And so as you move your consciousness there, you're starting to perceive the fullness of you, the totality of you, beyond the mind, beyond the body, beyond the identity, the story. You're moving into that connection where you make connection with the ultimate Wi-Fi. You're connecting to the divine. And because of that, the next thing I want you to think is, I wonder how today will surprise and delight me. I expect it. I'm already so excited, anticipating, knowing that the day is a divine conversation, and I'll be led to these sweet moments and insights and whispers because my GPS is being guided by God, by the divine, the one, some of the one, leading me to my destiny, the potential, the purpose, the fullness, the most expansive, joyous, most radiant life. And now I want you to imagine and focus your attention on seeing yourself going through your day as if your day was art. It was artistry, and God was just showing off with the colors of the sky and the smell of the flowers and the sweet people and the connections you'll make and the way that you contribute light to the world. And just see yourself walking through your day, just emanating light, being in flow, feeling that ease, feeling that certainty that God's got it, that the divine is really and truly constantly summoning the miracle, and you're available for all that's in escrow. Just see yourself going through the day and just check in, feeling that you want to select. Peace, ease, joy, play, sexy, turned on, vibing energy in you, moving through the rooms you're in, moving through the world with you. Good. Okay, now we're going to blink our eyes open, and you're just going to spend a few minutes. We'll just spend 5 minutes journaling. And so just start journaling. And you can start with one sentence, and it doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to know where you're headed. I just want you to write front and back of a piece of paper. Okay? So just write front and back of a piece of paper. Keep your hand moving. Even if you have to say, I don't know what to write next, just keep your hand moving.
So I thought I would just share that with you because this is something that I've been doing since the beginning of January, and I can tell you it's making such a difference to my mindset. So if you want to join the 30-day, please send me a wee message and let me get. I'm going to do it in WhatsApp. I always find it's easier, and I've also got a Facebook group which is called It's All About You, because it is exactly all about you. You can either do this or not do it. So have a fantastic night, and I look forward to catching up with you again. Have a great night. Bye.